habits of my heart. I can't say no.
Game 2 getting underway. Seems like perhaps Psg.Ldg coming out on top a little bit, but we're going to check in with Casey and the coach of Psg.Ldg.
Hey there, yeah, we're here with 357 and Helen's going to help with the translation. What do you think of OG's draft?
It's good.
What do you think of your draft?
Good too.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you, Helen. Great work. Best of luck. Thank you.
There we go. Both teams' drafts are good. Well, let's find out how they pan out in the game with Odie, Fogg, and Merlini.
Thank you very much. Draft from both sides indeed, and I have to agree, we're seeing some exciting stuff come out. We're seeing OG turn up in the grand finals. They're picking Underlord, they're picking Disruptor. These heroes that we haven't really seen that much. Underlord in particular, it's just not had a lot of success, but it's coming out here in game 2 of the grand finals.
I can understand why they picked it. You know, they wanted to have something that can deal with that PL in the mid game, some ways to catch him, and also they absolutely needed wave clear. He's pretty much their only wave clear in this early game until they start building up some more items.
Oh, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, game 2 between Psg.Ldg and OG kicking off here in Vancouver. As we are going to see what goes down. OG, it certainly seems, guys, that you sort of said it to me, Fogg, they've turned up with strats. They're turning up with something that no one else has been doing. It's got them this far and they're still pulling new tricks out of the hat.
I mean, they definitely had a lot prepared. You could tell they were very adamant about just over-preparing for the majority of their teams, and they had so much time. With Seb, with their coach, I can't say his name properly, but
Passaround.
Yeah, they said it. They've been staying up like all night getting ready for this, and they got to see LGD earlier too.
You know, I didn't realize that guy was the same guy at TEG so long ago.
Yeah,
we actually used to play against him so long. I thought that guy disappeared off of zero.
Here he is, grand finals, yeah, coaching OG and doing certainly, as we're seeing with the strats, a very good job of it. But overall, Ben, you do look at the 2 drafts and you consider what we've seen sort of just overall in this meta, and you have to feel that Psg.Ldg's lineup, it's a more robust one. It's one that just makes a little bit more sense, right?
If you weren't looking at the teams, but OG has had a lot of success with heroes that haven't been picked, and a lot of times you're just not really used to playing against these lineups and these heroes. And I mean, they do have pretty good ways to deal with them inside LG. I think the Kunkka in particular is really good versus Wiz, but you know, that was back in the days when people used to defensively relocate. Like, you pretty much can't do that anymore.
Yeah, the Kunkka though for me is such a good pick for several reasons. It's versus that IO. It's very good when you use your ulti. You actually can absorb the majority of the flak. When Gyrocopter uses the flak cannon, you really negate the majority of that damage. And then, of course, we have the X that can come into play. The glimpses, the relocates that do come out, you can actually find some really good pickups or saves on your teammates when you're trying to back off and pushing. Thompson's actually starting with the X. Secure.
Easy CS. And certainly all eyes on Thompson. We've known him to obviously whip out the old Meteor Hammer build. We'll be interested to see if he does keep with that one here in the grand finals, as he brought it out the other day, and it certainly looks, it's an incredible treat to see live on the stage.
Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna, I'm imagining he's gonna do like that new build that we're seeing. Just like the 2-0-2, maybe then start getting some points in Wex after that. But for the most part, I do see Thompson almost exclusively go for that cross Wex build. So it does look like Boba was also right with those lanes. They did put the Chalice Enchantress down bottom versus that Underlord and having an aggro tri-lane to pressure this kind of weak tri-lane that OG is running right now.
For this FY, looking for the wraparound. It's the 3-man Fissure blocking them off. X-Nova trying to move in and get the vision onto Ana, but they're turning with the Rocket Barrage. The Thunderstrike, X-Nova to draw Baname. Gets the first blood for Psg.Ldg. The trade will occur. Psg.Ldg, of course, getting that first blood, and not only just onto anyone, but onto Ana as well, getting him out of the lane. Great start to this aggressive tri-lane of Psg.Ldg.
How important do you think, Fogg, it was to take the hands of the Shaker away from Rex?
I was saying before we went into the series, I thought this was going to be the most contested hero between them, because I think even FY has had spectacular games on this hero throughout the entire tournament. So yeah, I do think that's definitely the hero of this series.
So the CS goes this time around in the mid lane at the moment, 11 for 3 on Somnus's Kunkka against the 4 for 1 of Thompson. Somnus having a very, very strong start to the mid lane matchup.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the lanes in particular coming out from OG. Bottom, Seb can do decent in the lane phase, but until once that level 6 hits on Enchantress, you are completely zoned out. You actually can't even walk up, and it hurts you throughout like all stages of the game. The mid matchup is really good versus for Kunkka as well, as you can fully invoke her because you have like, that low base damage.
Yeah, he went for 2 points in quads, over 1 point in the next one. Is just not able to keep up with that Tidebringer damage from maybe getting doubled in CS. It's tough. Force Spirit even not super useful.
Yeah, it actually can die pretty easily.
Look at this top again, FY. See if we can find for the setup round the side. As OG do start to move in, look to put the harassment down onto Arme. FY holding onto the fish for now, lets it out onto Notel. As Notel's been caught away from the rest of his team, Arme goes in with the Spirit. Let's cut the finish off. He's got the stick charges. Notel being tethered, kept alive, finally falls. And so does FY. They get the 1-for-1 trade up top.
Jared's with the misclick there.
Whoops, that wasn't my stick.
Yeah, he clicked the TP instead of it.
There is no choice.
Oh, better him than Gyro.
Yep.
As FY will of course come straight back in, but at the moment indeed in CS, 13 for 3 on the Gyrocopter compared to the 5 for 4.
They're actually
PL.
getting very good lasts up top. They have that triple range, which is the benefit for them, but the pressure that can come out from Psg.Ldg because of that Earthshaker blocks is where the kills are threatened a bit more.
Again, Sunstrike doesn't really help out too much. It's only the 1.
Yeah. He's already picked up a point in the Wax.
Denied.
Definitely will be a very slow start though for Topson, as we can still see. Somnus 21 for 9 against that 10 for 3. The lead just getting bigger and bigger in this 1v1 matchup.
I've been seeing him do this so much on the Kunkka, the double bracer. He does this on a lot of his mid-strength heroes. He's on the Dragon Knight a few times too. Just getting that high base damage and high health. This is a Kunkka with 1347 health already.
I've been seeing this early in the game. I mean, is he going to be able to stay in lane at a certain point? He doesn't have enough region for quads. He doesn't have max quads, so he is getting ticked down a lot.
He might get. I think he's going to get the 3rd point in the quads too. It pumps you up to like 19.7 HP per second.
But even then, can he last hit at all? He doesn't have Drow or anything really. No support at all in the mid lanes. Help him. There's a Force Spirit, but cleaved.
Every single time. Yeah, the harassment's really going to build up. And Somnus is going to get 6 way earlier as he keeps continuing to kill these Force Spirits.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That lane. Top though, yeah, the Gyrocopter's still able to get some farm and they're not giving up so many kills. You see, Notel in position for some wraparound here.
This is what FY also looking to play aggressive. Oh, they do! The slam of the right click between the two of them finds the current in. Now look towards Anna. Anna is sort of trapped over the Fisher, but he's got the back of the Jarrett. Now moving in on top of X-Nova with the right clicks. The OG get 1. FY and Arme now have to be on the tree. They have the doppelganger. Arme with the stick charges back up to 4, but the glimpse is out. Onto FY, dragging him back behind the 3 of them. Fisher once again though, down onto Notel. Enchant Totem as well. FY's bringing Notel low, but the stick charges keep him fine as FY will fall. The 3 of them still strong. Arme also in trouble as well as the Thunderstrike. The Rocket Barrage bringing him down. He turns with the Spirit Lance. Can Arme stay alive? He can't. Arme will fall. And Nova, can he actually find Anna here? The tether heal's there for Jarex. Anna's not going to go down. And X-Nova is also going to play with his life.
The IO just getting away pretty much with murder, just sitting in the back lines there. Eats some of that AoE damage, so has health loss and always has these stick charges. Constantly getting the perfect tether usage just to go back and forth saving their heroes. I also, during all that, I really like what Seb has been doing on the Underlord down bottom. He picked up a bottle and he's actually just trying to cut creep waves and farm the small camps, so he's not actually in the position to just eat those obnoxious impetuses that would normally happen. I think it's the perfect choice for him.
Top lane, they've got the level and homing missile now, so then we can never go on to Arme. He's holding on to the doppelganger, ready for the dodge. Will be able to get himself back to safety, but
Dire's bottom tower
in terms of CS, he is now starting to get ahead on that top lane Arme. So despite the constant pressure of OG, he's still farming that little bit better than Notel, especially when you consider, Anna, considering the denies between them.
He's playing level 6 on maybe he can try and interrupt top lane or bottom or mid. I think they need to kill one of these.
On top lane again, OG strike. They look to Arme. Nightmare will come out from X-Nova, but he's not going to save at the same time. Mid, they make the play. Straight in. FY helps Somnus set up for the kill onto Topson.
Such an insane amount of damage. Almost level 8 already. Face boots as well as that double bracer.
Level and a half difference between him and Topson at the moment. as Somnus just continues to climb ahead. Top lane though, this action just doesn't stop as X-Nova is getting dove upon. OG, they get the kill. Chalice and Arme see if they can find something in return, but No-Tail's deeping out. The Bishop will come out from FY, so No-Tail held back, but they also pick off Jerax in the tree. So LGD will punish OG there for that dive.
I love that. The rotation by Chalice there, just TPing. They know that they're overextending, and they actually get a huge kill there. Ame picks up the bounty off of Jerax, 337 gold.
What kind of build do you think that Underlord could be for this game?
I think just the Crimson Guard as fast as possible. I don't know if he's going to get the mech first. I'm wondering, before the IO goes for it. Because we've seen the IOs tend to go for that in majority of the games. But he might be put in an option where he can. But I think the Crimson Guard is probably the best one versus that Phantom Lancer.
And it's also Lancer is really underfarmed. You think he really does need it? I think the Kunga and the Ant are going to be doing way more damage where the Vanguard is not.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Well, the Crimson Guard actually does block the cleave from the Kunga. Just kind of a neat interaction that can come out. So that could help a little bit, but I think I don't know.
Thompson! He went in Nimbus and then he came out of it. They had him under the tower. They dive in and find the kill. Bit of a mistake there, costing Thompson his life as he tried to come up top after struggling in the mid lane, looking to find some action, and he just doesn't get it. And at the moment, you can really sort of see how his net worth is suffering. He's level with Jerax's own. Of course, Jerax, he's 4-1 and 4. So he was having a great time up top in terms of getting involved in those kills. But Thompson's certainly going to need time this game to catch back up.
They're continuing this dive. There's TP's coming through from the Bane.
As FY will look to juke around the trees. He's got the stick charges, as he'll be fine. As X-Nova, Chalice TPing in. We'll see if X-Nova can find any sort of set at the same time mid-Som. There's Cold Snap for Thompson coming into play. Somnus has got the bottle charges. He's got the movement speed. With that a haste rune, he is out of there. Thunderstrike will not be enough to finish him off. So Somnus keeps himself alive.
Look at X-Nova's net worth. He doesn't even have boots. I feel cool.
Yeah, he's a Bane. It's a good game for the Bane either way. Just the Enfeeble alone, once he starts getting more levels, I think is going to be the most important thing for him. Just keep throwing that Enfeeble on Gyrocopter. It's something we saw a lot through the DPC, how people were dealing with the hero.
Radiant are scanning.
Sep will be here down on the bottom to start to alleviate some of the pressure being put on by Chalice and FY.
Would you prefer that he go for the pipe first in this game?
Maybe mech. I think mech helps
mech
versus all sorts of damage.
You
have to a lot of magical, so in which case HP would be a lot better. But I don't know. It's just a tough call.
Sep tries to TP out, but he's not going to make it. FY in with the stun. No-Tail's TP'd in. He could be in trouble as well. Pop down the kinetic field and will just get himself away, living on 15 HP towards the mid. X-Nova with the EMP dodge. The backup for Chalice coming in as they chase down Thompson. Thompson, he's running with the rainbows all the way, taking down the Invoker. Chalice now dominating as it sits top of the net worth on his Enchantress.
That would also prevent it possibly from getting
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Great at the moment, but in terms of net worth, LGD with a 4K advantage, all three cores leading the way. And this time, of course, without a Treant in the game, they're having a much easier time at taking these early tier 1 towers away from OG.
And they've taken those two towers already, and look at their warding. They've already positioned towards deep to be able to watch any of the movements that OG does, or any of the smokes that they even want to set up to try to look for these kills to catch them back up. It's 10 minutes in, they're already at a 4K deficit.
Mid lane. Put the homing missile out onto Somnus, but he's got the Invis rune. He's back underneath his tower, and he's got X-Nova sat behind him. If OG did look to dive, but OG, they'll make the line drawn up top. They want to try and look towards Armin. Maybe see if they can catch out the PL.
Two clutch runes coming out there for the Kunkka. The haste rune is and then the Invis rune right after that, saving him from the dives that could happen.
How do you think they get Thompson back in this game? Just take good fights. Good fights to try and play around the wall.
Challenge.
Oh, yeah, just have to get it.
Oh, he's found another.
It doesn't seem like he can really do anything in fights. If he shows himself, he just gets jumped. He's also just too low levels to do that much damage of his own. But he's also not plus extra, so he can't really farm jump fast.
It's really tough because like they're on the back foot, and we've said this time and time again. When you have a disruptor on your line, and you're on the back foot, and you're just getting ran at. It's really hard to actually get any setup for the glimpse plays. And the Invoker in this game, like, who's he actually going to go for to first kill to build up his Earth Charge? It's really just the Bane and the Earthshaker early on.
Tries the tornado EMP, but Chalice keeps the distance now, turns towards Noto. They get a glimpse play onto Somnus, but Somnus, he's got the push coming in. He has that run bug. The call that comes through from Anna is in enough to find the kill onto Somnus. It is. They get one. The homing missile redirects itself on top of Chalice. Chalice has the heals going. He's turning with the impetus. He actually gets the kill on Notel. They'll relocate the team back out of there. So OG not really wanting to commit everyone to this fight. And Chalice, FY, they turn. There comes that Fisher out onto Anna. They burst down the Jarrett comes in. Chalice, he's already looking for more. He's trying to chase down Jarrett, but Seb's there with the body blocks. We'll keep Chalice back, but Chalice just getting so much done on this Enchantress. He's 6-0-1, just getting kill after kill, and he is sailing ahead this game.
I think Jarrett's brought Thompson back to top lane, maybe the inefficiency play harder than playing, but at the same time they're getting outnumbered down here.
And they're going to get more action as well. The final impetus not quite enough. Seb still alive, gets the firestorm out. They'll finally fall. Exuma may dodge this. He's got the nightmare dodge. They'll get him out of the tower range. That tower, it went back to him. Wasn't able to successfully de-aggro in time. So it does go down, but still. Seb falls. He's the core, and Chalice just continues his reign on this game.
And they're just keeping this pressure on. It's giving so much space for Ame just to kind of have his own game. Just free farm in the sides, farm some jungle.
And he definitely needed it after the start.
Yep.
Very grateful.
Radiant's
I think
middle
he's one of the best
tower
players
is
about
under
using
attack.
that, you know, like that 8 to 20 minute space where carries really need to maximize their farm. He's one of the best at it.
They're stalking him right now. They have vision with the ward, but quick double down.
This is kind of reminds me of the Luna game that we saw earlier where he just got destroyed in lane, but you know, just needs a little bit of time and he's right back in. It's number 2 on that ward.
Chalice. One hit and a third of Anna's health.
This is just such a great display by Chalice. This Enchantress pick too, it was the first pick, but it's just working out perfectly for them. They don't really have the damage because they're all grouped up around it. If they had just like, if they were able to isolate this Enchantress ever and get the gyrocopter on top of it with all that magic damage, they could go for it, but it's so difficult with the way LGD's playing as a unit, moving around, making plays as 3 or 4.
We saw what in the last game, so the biggest issue for Chalice was the Shaker, just getting on top and offering that heavy amount of magical burst and control to allow the teammates to take him down. But this time around, the Disruptor just can't quite do as good of a job in terms of duration of overall control. Static Storm will be dropped down as well. The kinetic field with a grip from X-Nova, holding Thompson in place, allowing the impetus to fly in from Chalice. They're starting to storm ahead this game, Psg.Ldg, as they lead 13-10, 6k advantage. OG, they have to do something big to swing this one around as Thompson is just getting knocked further and further behind on his Invoker.
And he's the cross-flex Invoker. He wants to be the one making the plays around. He can't really just catch up through farming, so they have to find a way to group up and take these fights, but this disadvantage is super hard versus LGD's lineup when they almost going to have a blink dagger on the Earthshake.
Trying to call in for a relocate, it seems.
Got the catch in with the kinetic field. Get the picture out onto 2 of them and the slam FY. He's trying to walk it off. The glimpse will be there, bringing him back into them as he does finally fall, but he certainly gives it his all before he goes. Somnus is going to come in. They get the X plays. He's coming back out, and there's no escape, I'm afraid, as LGD get the gyrocopter.
Big difference between this game and last game is that Jarex can't really go around making plays. He's pretty much bound to the gyrocopter the entire game.
Chalice.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And Big Daddy's trying to do stuff on his own, but he just simply can't. Thompson.
Oh God, not again. The dust is there, prepared. Oh, Thompson. How he falls time and time again here to Somnus's Kunkka.
0 and 5. Rare sight to see from Thompson as he's been excelling at this tournament.
And a little bit of that goes back to the tri-lane at the start where they really can't devote any resources to help Thompson out, and he was just getting destroyed in the matchup. Booker needs some time to ramp up even across lines.
Yeah, and it's so hard because we want to see the supports trying to make moves, but with the 2 heroes that they have, like IO can't really make moves. They have to play around the relocate, so it has to be the Disruptor and the Invoker running around just looking for these relocate plays. But at this point, it's just so hard with LGD's advantage. As FY is going to have that Blink Dagger finished up top very soon, and they're just keeping the pressure on him. You see X-Nova always in position to get those aggressive wards down to see where OG wants to try to catch up.
And they have to be really concerned for OG, as PSG mentioned. I think LGD have the better late game with that PL.
Yeah. And they've got all this the damage mitigation that comes from versus that gyro. It's problematic.
They just need, you know, one or two good combos with the Invoker if someone can set it up for them. But the problem is LGD are generally approaching from multiple angles, as we saw them coming for the Invoker in the mid lane with the Fiend's Grip in the side and everyone coming out, everyone else coming from the front. It's just really hard.
Thompson,
Double tornado. He's going to connect on Somnus.
got to be careful about getting range at Chalice. The Chalice does force forward trying to get him. Thompson's out there.
They steal all the Ancients that were there to try to catch the Starro back up.
Radiant structures
And
are
Seth
fortified.
is getting farmed up, at least keeping that pressure going. Panel said he's the one who has to be doing this, forcing those towers, trying to get that wave clear constantly to set up for his team to make plays, and he'll rip away as he is going to be going back to that pipe.
He can't even feel safe for a lot of the game doing this play too, because they do have the X, so it counters relocate, but also the Dark Ribs. I'm not sure how much they can split push the way to victory.
With that, Blink Dagger now in his inventory, ready to go. He looks to set up on top, jumps in with the Fissure. Jax is going to instantly TP away there. So there's no chance of Chalice finishing him off.
Nice early Glimmer Cape, at least on the IO to try to save himself or his teammates when they go for those aggressive plays, but they're still just heavily on the back foot as the lanes push onto OG's side.
Thompson still sitting fourth lowest on the net worth for the moment on his Invoker. He has a long way to go if he is to recover this game.
It's one of those games like, are you really sure? I'm not sure if we're going to get any kills here.
Big Danny notes out, looking for Rame. That one is going for the Sonic Storm, but it's going to wear out Rame. He can doppelganger over the homing missile, of course, will prevail.
Turn charge acquired.
There he goes. He was getting that danger carrier. It's about even on net worth with Sheikah. So that's a little bit scary, but it just takes a couple of team fights for them to get back in play. But LGD, they've been kind of doing a good job of making sure that Underlord is not the one in front. Usually Underlord is your big buffer in between your weaker heroes in the back, but they just come from all sides. They can swoop down on the IO in particular, and the Invoker. None of them feel safe in the fights.
And they always know where everybody is because of all these aggressive wards they've got down because of taking those towers early on. So right away they see Jarex for a moment stepping outside, they start running at this IO immediately.
And they know they have wards, but they just...
Unique ones coming out here on the right side.
Illusion! Mid lane, Seb. He's got the pipe, full turn, tries to root down the turret. Challenge forces himself out, slips back, will be there. It actually sets up a bit of an echo slam. Still, the damage is enough from OG. It's Jared still alive for now. They look to chase down Chalice. Here comes Somnus looking for the angle. Out it comes onto Anna, gets the damage out. The boat flying through as well. The Glimmer Cape on Anna is enough to keep it safe. No, the X-Bone drags it back into Tony. Still alive for now. Anna, can he survive throughout this all thanks to Jared? Oh, he's not! As Anna will go down.
The sleep on the Underlord. You saw Seb trying to run toward his teammates. He just gets slept. He can't bail them out.
Another successful fight there from Psg.Ldg as you could see OG trying to set up, glimpsing the Shaker back, and sure, FY does go down, but he gets his skill set off. He's able to buy that time for the rest of Psg.Ldg and coming to look and buy, but Somnus, get trapped by it. Oh, he was able to X himself before the glimpse. Gets himself back away, that classic counterplay there to the glimpse that we'll have to look out for this game.
That was OG's reveal of their pipe as well. So that's why you saw the echo came out. It was a bit good for disable, but the damage wasn't so much, and they still aren't able to take that one.
It's top lane Chalice.
They've got a DD in Somnus' bottom. He's heading toward this top fight.
Meanwhile, Ame doesn't really want to be involved. He's just chilling, trying to beat that late game trump card.
He is really selling ahead all three cores at Psg.Ldg at the 9k net worth mark at the moment. Closest as we can see on OG's side being that of Anna's farm on the Gyrocopter.
Hey, this is like the best feeling as a carry player. It's like, thank you team. I'm over here too, by the way, killing some creeps.
Radiant are scanning.
The Maelstrom is finished up, yeah, as mentioned, on a Jarex. Does have the 25% experience down, still 4 levels away from that big level 15, which... They're smoked up, but despite the DD on the Kunkka is available.
Nightmare there from X-Nova, going to mess up the combo potential from No-Tellers. He gets cleaved down there by Somnus. A quick cut with the Tiebringer. Chops him apart. Jarex will take Anna out of this. Gets him away from Psg.Ldg's movement. We'll see if they are prepared for Jarex on the return. As you can see FY hunting for the location, and he has found it. He's ready. Jarex will come back in. He's got some time with the Glimmer Cape, but FY knows that he's around, goes for the stun. The torrent comes out from Somnus. They'll get Jarex.
Still works.
makes buy some time, some space for Seb to also keep pushing top, get those lanes out, see if it's gyro.
This Enchantress is destroying them now, but I think later they will have enough damage, especially with the Axe Tether for the Gyrocopter with Maelstrom, plenty of magic damage there, and then once Invoker, they will drop some Meteor combos. I think they can take her down, but right now Chalice is running all over.
Yeah, they've still got a lot of time too, because Thompson is actually fully committed for more points in Cross and Wax, so it's only actually the 1 point in the X order. And he is a long, long ways from that.
Another tower taken here by the push of Chalice. Seb completed Crimson Guard, now ready and upon him, as we saw as well the BKB for Somnus just getting shipped out as well.
Albert next for Seb, it looks like. Maybe
Stop. Deny from FY.
In between the cold snaps, and Somnus on the hunt. They get swung off on Thompson.
Patience.
Nice little play there from FY. Thompson trying to set up with that combo to make sure that he gets the last hit, but wasn't successful. And now OG do find Xnova heading up the ramp into the jungle of OG, as they will. The three of them take down the Bane. Make sure that he doesn't get away with his little warding journey that he was looking to make.
still got the D-ward on. Pretty important.
Any type of kill like that matters though. You see how OG they're really prioritizing playing a little more defensive now, sticking in their jungle, making sure they can farm this Gyrocopter up to that point where he can actually contest and take these fights. Really needing that BKB so he can counteract the Earthquake as well as that content.
And not get enfeebled.
And not get enfeebled.
Yeah, Xnova, yeah, he's super low on network, but I still think he can do a lot of damage in these fights.
He's actually only done 1 point in it though. I've seen him do the 4-4-1 a lot of times, but prioritizing the Nightmare a little bit more.
Pretty good at disabling the Underlord, as we saw.
Looks like Ame does want to start to get involved with his team a bit here, as he's also going for a BKB. He had the SNY queued up initially, but...
No, he's certainly going to need it, as we're sort of saying, against the Gyro, against this Maelstrom with the Axe benefit of the IO down the lane.
It's going to make him unkillable.
Yeah.
He can't get picked off when he has BKB. If he has a Manta, some weird interaction could happen where he gets glimpsed or he gets caught in the silence initially, but now if he gets caught in the silence, well, when he gets the BKB, he'll be able to protect himself. They are smoked or something. We'll at least get a ward out of this.
I'm a little bit worried for OG once he's come out. It's almost nothing versus BKBs. I mean, maybe disrupt their ag, but that's, man, 45 minutes of the game.
Mid lane. Psg.Ldg starting to move back towards Jerax and Anna. There's Jerax. He's looking for that ring, but Chalice, he's there with the chase. They get the slow, they get the Fisher. There's Jerax, who'll pop the glimmer, but there's the double dust. As they'll find him. Catching at the eye, same time up top. Look for No-Tail. No-Tail trying to get out with the TP play, and he does escape. No-Tail will get out of there.
They tried to set up the kill, but the BKB just getting delivered. So these BKB timers are coming out from almost all the cores of LG. Like Ben said, it's very problematic for OG.
They're moving into Roshan now, Psg.Ldg.
They really want to protect the arcane. I mean, it's a big deal at this point too for maybe.
I know what's going on, OG, but can they really contest this? Static Storm's being used. We saw the combo drop top. I believe Tornado's probably still on call. No, it's back up. Because they have got the Tornado set up here from Thompson. But do they have the follow? They'll throw it in. Roshan still with a decent amount of health. They'll pop the Deafening Blast, pushing Psg.Ldg out of the pit. But now Chalice is on the hunt. He's looking towards Thompson. Missile at the side will be dodged. Nice Nightmare from Xnova, keeping FY safe. Chalice.
He's got the focus on him.
Can they kill him off? They've got the cold snap down, the wall as well to slow him, but he pops the dust, he pops the turnaround. Xnova with a feed script. The torrent as well on to Thompson. Thompson's got Anna, moving in with the BKB. He does not have the damage, but there's Chalice staying alive. Chalice, will he go down the rocket barrage? Don't find him. Anna will get the kill onto the Enchantress. Jerax incredibly low as Ame. FY, they're going to chase him. He's got the Glimmer Cape, but he's been dusted. Jerax gets taken down.
Anna's got to go buy a TP. He'll be okay, at least they don't find him.
You get the glimpse play out as well there, No-Tail, keeping himself and Seb safe for now. Say that they're still chasing a Fisher, the jump at one. In with the control, setting up for another kill for Ame. As Psg.Ldg push OG away from the pit. Roshan's still singing at about half health as Ame jumps straight back in. We'll see if they can get away with this one. You're going to have Thompson back in the game in a couple of seconds. But they should have a good shot at finishing this one off in time without any sort of further interruptions coming out from OG.
BKB timing's just, OG can't take the fights, they don't have the damage to go through it just yet.
And Booker is supposed to be that big threat that pops the BKBs early. Yeah, you might not kill them, but get those BKBs early so that everyone else can. But right now, it's just on dishing out a lot of them. Thompson's still struggling. I'm just really not sure how Thompson's going to have a huge impact at this stage of the game.
I think he's just going to have to act a lot more and just control and hope for the best that he's
Wait for
gyro.
BKBs to get 5 seconds.
Yeah, pretty much. Wait for those BKBs to tick down and hope that the gyro is able to take it away once he starts getting the enabled more by the IO. So he gets gifted that Aghanim.
Chalice.
Dust?
He was ready. I don't know, sort of a body blocker such, but he pops the dust. Seb does have backup though. He's got Ana and Notel in. The Static Storm down on top of the Enchantress, and they go for the cooldown. Seb, Ana pops the BKB. The Tornado's going to come in the side, catch it to 2 of them, in fact to 3 of them, sending them on. Somers gets the BKB out though. Time for the Tidebringer hit. Jarek cut down by Arme. Ana wanting to find Chalice. F5 point. The Echo Sam holding down Thompson on the side. Seb's up away for the double kill. Somers speeds up a third. Seb's trying to get out of it, but he's not going to make it. Arme with the triple kill, as OG just cannot take a fully fledged team fight, as you're saying, with these BKBs on LGD. There just isn't the damage to kill off the cores in time, as they only get Chalice and lose for themselves.
You feel for Jerax, right? Like in the game, if he's this IO trying to run around, but you actually can't run away. They can't stop these BKB cores just getting on top of him. And once that IO goes down, your gyrocopter's not nearly as strong.
OG are definitely expected to lose these team fights in the mid game, but you're just trying to not lose them that badly. You don't want it to get to the point where they can just storm up their high ground. You know, you want a couple of casualties, but still, it's not great for OG. 4-4-1. It's not really what you're aiming for.
Yeah, and every single time too, we see the Rum coming out, right? We see Ana runs in, he's got the flak on, he starts dishing out some damage, but the Rum counteracts pretty much all of the combo that Gyro wants. You throw your call down, you get your flag sewn up, you're like, wait, I'm not actually doing that much damage in this engagement.
And BKB comes out for maybe, and they just destroy Thompson. Great echo kill.
Just keeping Thompson away from getting out any more of his combo.
Underlord dies last. That's the exact opposite of what you want to take. Like, you want him to get focused a little bit, but
Jerax
just can't do it.
Yeah.
It's getting harder and harder here for OG here in this game too. This whole game, this PL Arme just getting bigger and bigger. He's queuing up the MKB next as well. He's absolutely going to feel like this unstoppable force in these fights until, as you say, we either see later down the line, if it gets to that point, Notel being able to get an Aghanim Sept on the Disruptor, or if Ana's sort of able to get sort of a secondary damage item on top of the Maelstrom. Because at the moment, they are not killing this PL.
It's really just a tags on Invoker. I think he needs to be able to force out the BKBs early and then just disengage whatever way you can. Maybe lose 1 or 2 heroes, and then you go in with the fight afterwards with your full arsenal. That's the best way for him to win the fight.
It's FY. Found one another here. FY very tanky at the moment with that Ogre Club and Point Boost. He's got a lot of HP. As Notel has to be the one to look to hide. Straight into the trees, goes for the TP. FY doesn't quite get in range there to proc the stun.
Chalice is split up top. This is the kill they can look for here. They don't have Spirit Vessel charges just yet though.
He's got the hook. We'll see if they've got enough damage with the combo. Chalice able to slide down to the low ground. He's running himself away. The cold snap, the right clicks. Can they actually kill this man with a hook? He's just way too durable. Jerax has to be very careful as they'll back away there. They were never going to get that kill with just the 2 of them.
No Spirit.
No Vessel charge, yeah, exactly.
Somnus.
Have a Lord. It's a little bit too multi. They've seen these 2 heroes, so I'm guessing.
Thompson walks in, he puts the tornado in the totally wrong direction, and now the combo from Somnus comes down. Drags Thompson back in, they've got the detection. As my goodness.
Maybe it's
And they'll get Notel too. Arme straight on top of the Disruptor. The carnage continuing to favor LGD as they just get pick off after pick off. Ana, maybe seeing if he can strike back. FY quick with a blink out. Arme still looking to stick around for this. He will get rooted, but he knows that there's no real threat. OG just cannot get on top of him. And top lane Jarek, well back, looks for the angle. Somnus with the clean. Killing once again Jerax as Somnus continues this game. 7-1-6, having a huge impact from the laning stage right up until this 30-minute mark with a fantastic Kunkka performance.
And this Kunkka now has 3,200 health and a full AC.
On bottom. It looks like FY is just starting to play around with him with the lockdown of the set. He's going to try and get himself out of there with the ultimate. Can he get it time? He can! He gets them out. Seb will manage to get out, but Arme was also very low. Arme does, of course, still have the Aegis.
He was trying to die. He ran into the
There we go. They're going to need a little bit more of have that magic OG if they want to come back into this one, but they will take that Aegis away. But as you said, LGD won't be too phased by that at all, as they were happy with it going nonetheless. As top lane, Somnus looks for the cleave angle. Around he goes. Getting dragged back into the turret. Seb's going to come in as well as Jarrett to look to help him out, and that will keep Anna fine. He's trying to turn, but Somnus pops the BKB. X-Nova's coming in as well on the Bane.
He's baiting them.
OG have to be careful. Chalice already there, looking towards Anna. Anna hits the trees. The X-Mark coming out, but they'll relocate back out. The Eye will escape with Anna, but no tails in trouble. Arme again, just swarming on top of the Disruptor. Picking up these kills. The Sunstrike off the mark, as again, LGD just keeping everyone alive, growing this lead, 13k advantage.
He just knows how tanky he really can be. He pops the Braum, gets the Ghost Ship off, of course, holds that BKB, waits till his team starts approaching. They get themselves a kill out of it. It was a really nice ulti from No-Tail though on that Disruptor, catching 3 of them inside the Static Storm. Could have costed them more heroes if he didn't connect like that. That 13k advantage and a 20,000 experience advantage going for LGD.
Except they're almost up for top sun. Maybe they can put up some sort of fight around the Roche pit. I think that's actually where OG need to make the next pull. They're actually really good about fighting around the pit and just dumping spells in there with all these melee heroes inside the LGD. Enchantress kind of has to be a melee hero inside the pit because she needs to tank Roche.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of item timings all coming in together at the same time. You can head. Thompson's Aghanim's going to be finished up. They've also got the IO hitting level 15 after that last fight. So little things starting to build up for them. And then Sam, the Underlord, has been farming very, very well this game. Has the 3 big items that he wants. Hasn't actually gone for the mech though, or Guardian Greaves this game.
Spot.
Yeah.
Somnus just every time finding the setup. That double damage really certainly helped as well to pack that Tidebringer with the punch it needs to cut down the IO as quickly as he did.
Somnus loves to just tank up on these junkies. Oh,
they have, and he's all alone. There's no IO in the game. FY Echo Slam. Change start holding him down. Psg.Ldg just ruling the game at the moment by quite some distances. It's just looking almost impossible for OG to come back into this game too.
When your most farm core dies to the 2 supports, you know you're in some trouble.
As now Psg.Ldg into the base they go. The fortification comes out. Seb will try his best to hold them. The Nightmare's there from X-Nova. Thompson's going to get controlled by the side of Somnus again with the X-Mark play, dragging Thompson back into the clutches of FY's hands as Thompson's gone for 50 seconds.
Yeah, that's a buyback from Mana who's coming back in.
See if they can do anything about Arme. Arme cross the BKB, tries to get himself on top of Jarrett. The dust out as well. Anna trying to hit back, but Arme just stands his ground. BKB now from Anna. They do get X-Nova on the bait. It's Chalice. He's just diving in. Finds No-Tail with the impetus. Chalice again. The plays bringing Jarrett on, but Jarrett will survive with the Glimmer K. The vision wasn't quite there for the last impetus to connect, but they're 2 down on OG. Now make that free as Anna. Jumped on by FY. Steps around in the torrents up. Somnus in with the physical damage. It's Seb will fall. The buyback comes out from Seb, but LGD still looking strong to take this tier 3 tower down bottom. Take even more as they're onto the barracks. And OG, they're without this Gyrocopter for 75 seconds. They could not hold with Anna, let alone without him.
They're just so tanky on the side of LGD. All their heroes, Challenge just runs in without fear. They've all got these BKBs. They went for a satanic build so we can actually stand in the midst of all this AoE and just keep fighting over and over again.
Here's Rum.
And the Rum. Over and over again.
That's Arme. Just trailing onto top of the cold snap does come out. Arme quick with the doppelgangs to remove it. Fishes down, but the glimpse is there. Big Daddy drags Arme back into the Static Storm. He's surrounded. They'll look to kill him off, but he's got the Riser. The Satanic. Arme back up to half out. He pops the BKB. They cannot kill this PL. He's on the retreat back to his teammates. Do they have any other further catch? They've got to be careful because Somnus turns up. The boat comes in. BKB down from Somnus. Looks for the gold box to them, and FY jumps in to the green wave. The Echo Slap takes down No-Tail and Fisher onto Thompson and Seb. OG have to back away from these racks as LGD are looking to claim a second set. The Crimson Guard will be popped, trying to slow down the siege, but LGD will get away with it. There's going to be Anna back up in 15 seconds, but the melee racks are taken in both the middle lane and the bot lane, as well as the range racks down bottom. Psg.Ldg now 25,000 ahead.
Oh, looks like they were us at the main. Yes, okay.
Yeah. They're feeling super confident in this game. When you see the PL gets glimpsed back into the midst of everybody and able to turn that fight to the Satanic, you're definitely feeling really good. And another DD picked up for Sam. I was mentioning, he loves his heart on the strength heroes. I think I've been seeing him buying on like every single one of them. The Tiny, Kunkka.
He gets it there first. It's actually him most of the time rather than Ame. Starts off with light.
Thompson is in trouble. The jump forward from FY. The boat comes through the tidebringer from Somnus as he pops the double damage out of the bottle. Looks towards No-Tail. No-Tail hiding in the trees. They'll turn to Anna. Anna for BKB, but Anna had to be careful. The tidebringer hits. Somnus just doing so much damage, but Anna will survive. BKB to Glimmer takes out. Anna gets himself back towards the base, but they'll jump on top of Jarek. Seb now surrounded. He'll pop the ult. Should be enough to get him out in time, but the egg again, Somnus with the Kunkka play brings the underlook straight back into the hands of LGD. As now Seb dead for 100 seconds. Psg.Ldg ready to storm the base once again, looking towards this mid-range rack. The tier 2's gone from all lanes so they can open up towards the Megas. Jerax will buy back. They've got Thompson back up in 10 seconds. But with a 28k advantage favoring LGD, can OG really do anything to stop this? It looks at the least that the Mega Creeps will be guaranteed as the racks up top will fall. Thompson looking to lead him with the combo, but again the ball straight on top of Anna. Somnus is in. They do manage to get the Glimmer Cape onto Anna. Anna backs away. Thompson with the Ghost Walk, keeping himself alive with the dust. They've got the dust. The Thompson's dead. Thompson gone. It's Jerax and Anna. Chalice again. These impetuses too hard for this hour to play against. As there's 3 dead on OG. Psg.Ldg with a full lineup still alive. As they look towards the mid lane, it's GG is on. Ladies and gentlemen, Psg.Ldg taking game 2 of the best of 5 grand finals here at TI8. And that one, it didn't look close at all. This was Psg.Ldg through and through. OG maybe going sort of a new strat too far in this game too, trying something a little off the wall with the Underlord pick, but it never really came together.
LGD seemed so prepared for this draft. They were like, okay, the IO Gyro's coming out. They seem to get exactly what they wanted in this game.